Hello everyone, wow, what a start. Hello everyone, welcome to a Napoleonic Wars event as hosted by the 2nd Regiment. Now, what timing, fantastic timing there. Let me tell you about the teams as we watch the English and the Prussians go up against each other in the middle of the Sahara Desert. So, we have on the United Kingdom side the 2nd KGL, the 2nd QR, the REE, which is the East Essex Regiment, and so many others. Look at that, all the 2nd on the English side. Now, on the Russian side, we have the 60th, the PY, the 172nd, the 77Y, and the 1RYK as well. Look at these guys, all in here. Fantastic. Finnish rifles as well. Can't beat a good bit of Finnish rifling. Anyway, let's see what's going to occur. There will be plenty of death, and also, of course, a special mention for Nicky, who's in here as well, as it's his birthday today. So it's only fair that we all say happy birthday to him. They won't be singing happy birthday, but he'll probably be able to celebrate his birthday by getting shot in the chest. But, you know, I suppose Napoleonic Wars do it a slightly different way, and Space Doom catches a cannonball from Lautano. Oh, poor Space Doom. Never mind. And the cannonballs from Lautano continuing over the top of the heads of the 2nd. So you can see them now engaging the skirmishers. Let's go and fly over here and find out what's going on, because this will be the Russian encampment, along with skirmishers and lights as well. There's Liloch from the 172nd, and you've got other guys you can see. Oh, the 60th as well. Look at these fine doorstep heads. And at the back here, we have the 1RYK, I should say. And here is the PY, Cadet Brilson, and there Grigory von Biscuit. Ah, the von Biscuits. Famous family in Russia. Now, who's this fellow? There's Dawn. And we're going to move over to here and see what's going on, because this will be the Russian artillery encampment, no doubt. Over this hill. There we go. You can see them in the right-hand side of the screen. And they do have the artillery guard with them, along with this gentleman, the Dowell 14. There's the Bane, and there's Duzel as well, and there's High Lord, of course, and oh god, Charlie the Turtle, Lieutenant Engineer, building the fort of Derp. There's Rostafari, checking through his spyglass to see what's going on. Let's see who our cannons are. The Magic Man, there's Skywalker, Sneckermace, of course, Lautano, and that's looking good. So, there's the artillery with a few guards on the left, Midgarder again, and White Knight. So, Colonel Curly O'Connor nearly got hit in the face with a cannonball, so Lautano and the artillery section of the 77Y being their usual devastating self. Matt Woodfee, look at that, taking down Recruit Drew. And we can see here, oh dear, not a good idea for Frostwood there to stand on the top. And that point has been proven as these guys are hiding, with the lights continuing to try and engage the Brits as they are moving forward. And you can see the Brits continuing to push forward, trying to make use of the cover. In the meantime, you can see over here on the left-hand side, as Vegetarian has just been killed from the East Essex Rifles. Or the Regiment of East Essex, sorry, my apologies. Let's see who these guys are. There we go, the 2nd Guard. Sandman version 2, as opposed to Sandman version 1. And there's Lance Corporal Fredo at the back, and Hipster Rich as well. Now, these guys are going to be engaging the Russians at distance. Look at that. They nearly got the range. It's looking quite good. And let's see if we can get an idea of what's going on with respect to the actual movement of the forces. So it looks like we've got some fine British dragoons. There is Staff Lieutenant Colonel R.G. Poo. Fantastic name, sir. As it looks like poor old Nether has just stabbed himself in the testicles and is no more. Aha, commanding officer by the looks of it here. There, of course, is Staff Colonel O'Connor, or Curly O'Connor, I should say. So, let's see. We can get an idea of what's going on. You can see, oh, Freddo's been shot. Freddo's gone down. As now you can see another line of Brits moving, being supported by their skirmisher light buddies. And that's the reason for that is you can see now the Russians are pushing up on the left flank on the edge of the map quite substantially. As a result of that, the Brits are having to pull back to a more defensive position. Now, oh my goodness, what a name. Spurgupata. That's probably what it is. So we are currently trying to get an idea, as we fly up into the sun to burn out your retinas, of what's going on with respect to the general situation. And it seems that most of the stuff is going on the right-hand flank of the Brits. Now, it looks to me, as you can see the Brits here, continuing to push, trying to push back. We're using the lights and the skirmishers to push back against the Russians as the Russians are pushing. But what they've got to watch for is they've got to watch for the guys in the middle. Now, I don't know if the Brits have any artillery, and this could be a problem for them. As you can see, more of the Brits there from the 2nd KGL being taken down. There's Padraig. Now they're getting into a position to line up to fire at the Russians. And there we go, member of the PY Atom Smasher gets taken down. Fine volley coming in from the 2nd KGL. Now, as Hipster Rich gets finished off. And you can see the Brits continuing to be pushed by the Russians. You've got a line moving down the centre even. Now, let's see. Could this be... Oh, it's actually a British line in retreat. Oh, it's the Rifles of East Essex, or the Regiment of East Essex, sorry. Press play! Hello, recruit, press play. And King of the North, Overlord, and following at the back, Officer Jim. Now, it looks like they might be either returning to help out with the push that is occurring on the Russian side. And you can see the Russians pushing back at the Brits pretty substantially. Cannonballs will be bouncing nearby soon. Oh, down goes Lufty 8, 9889, as well as Soteria from the 60th. As the 2nd are continuing to fire back. The lights here, looks like, are they backed up? No, the lights are actually out in an isolated position, and this could be very dangerous for them. But over here on the middle section, whoops-a-daisy, Uzo, with a little bit of a punch. And now you can see the skirmishers supported by line infantry. This is where skirmishers can be at their most dangerous. As long as they're supported by the line infantry, they're in a position to do more damage. Bit of horn work going on. Who's our hornist? Ludwig. Horn Major Ludwig, in fact. He is Major of the Horn. Yes, I'm sure there's a website for that kind of thing. Anyway, let's find out. As these guys start moving up against the Russians, with the skirmishers moving out on the right. Fine shot there from Nicky, birthday boy, into Luloch. And now this is going to be a problem for the Russians. The Russians are going to have to cheese it. It looks like only the officer, correction. Not anymore. He gets taken down, and now this could be a problem. Let's see. As the 2nd QR are pushing back against the Russians. Some of these guys having to make a run. There's Lieutenant Hunter. Now, let's see. Oh, look at these guys. Don't they look fantastic? Lieutenant Unai leading those guys forward into battle to push up against the Russians with the 2nd QR. Sergeant Rogan looking to move up. Oh, he's not looking to move up anymore. Oh, dear. So, let's have a look at the numbers. 32 and 40. So, it's all pretty even at the moment. Now, the trouble is these guys have got to make a push against the artillery, and that could be a very, very dangerous thing. As Curly O'Connor has just assassinated his own horse and moving up with the lines. Now you can see the lines here starting to move up against the artillery section. You've got a lonesome soul here from the 172nd, Lieutenant Hunter, trying to move back. Also, Corporal Islam. Oh, look at that cannonball fire over the top and take down Assassin Rep. Oh, heavens above. There, the late RFM Assassin Rep. Oh, he's ginger. He should be used to being shot at. Anyway, let's find out what's going on as now. The Russian artillery reminds you of an 8 cage in the zoo. Yeah, that's probably... Yeah, Fort Derp is well known. The 77Y are well known for creating the artillery Fort Derp with their engineering skills. So it looks like you've got the artillery continuing to fire. The Russians now moving back to the loving arms of their artillery. As you can see, a fine shot there from the Magic Man. And these guys building this fort so it's difficult to get in. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Never mind. So there we go. It makes it difficult for artillerymen to get in there. Oh, dear. And the 172nd moving in. I think he needs to hold his rifle the right way round. He's not going to shoot back very far. And now the Brits will be moving in. But they do have some people at the back. The PY. You can see these fine fellows. Hurrah, indeed. Oh, Matty Woofy getting taken down. Poor Matt. With a fine shot coming in. Over the hill on the left side. Rubber Walrus. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic name. As now you can see these guys from the lights, the 2nd QR. Engaging with their fine Baker rifles at the enemy. And they are pushing pretty hard against the artillery. Oops-a-daisy, look at that. More shooting coming in on these guys. And they're doing a fantastic job, the 2nd, of shooting these artillerymen at a distance, making use of that ranged ability and extra rifling. As you can see, the PY continuing to move up, trying to dodge those bullets, trying to get themselves into a line as the 2nd guards. There we go. Regiment of East Essex. Fine fellows. And cannonballs continue to bounce between them. And yet they pause to reload. So. More fire coming in as... Oh dear. Looks like Boyce has just been murdered horribly. And now you can see Curly O'Connor moving up to the 2nd. You can see him there with a rifle musket. And these guys here... There we go, Recruit Baxter from the 2nd Guards. They're ready to move up. And the Russians are... Oh, Recruit Assy taking him down. Sneckermace also being finished off by the REE. Fine shooting coming in from these guys. Look at this. But now it looks like they're going to get into the Arty Guard. Looks like the Arty Guard now moving up. Here we go. The 1RYK. Oh dear, they've lost poor old Corpamese. The mug has also been shot in the head. And now they're going in for a little bit of melee. Oh, look at that. A fine stab by Nassi into the Hauptmann Sanic of the 2nd KGL. And they're continuing their stabby goodness. Another one goes down, and the Russians still holding out. Look at this. Russian goings on. So, there we go. King of the North finishing off as Midgard shoots Warlord. And now you can see as Fort Derp is continuing to be defended. Look at these guys. And now the cannons are directed towards the 2nd. As we're looking at 16 versus 25. The United Kingdom have the advantage. For this reason, down here, look at this. These guys ready to move. Commanding officer, Lieutenant Unai, sneaking around, looking, waiting. Now. 16 members of the Russian forces remain, and this is probably where they're going to be. As Assy takes down another member of the 172nd. Press play is finished off with a fine headshot. And this is going to be a problem from the Regiment of East Essex. King of the North. And there's Recruit Assy. Continuing to push. And at 40 minutes, everyone will charge. Because right now the Russians are penned in from all directions. They're being attacked from 2 directions. And down goes Lortano, King of the North, with a fine kill. As you can see, more cannon fire coming down. As Recruit Scotty gets taken down by the roving cannonball. And now they're charging in already. As poor old RG Poo gets taken out. Ouch. Curly O'Connor horribly murdered on the charge. And now the final stand of the Russian forces. And this is what you can see here as Skywalker gets shot horribly. And they're still loading the cannons in the middle of the battle. This is dedication. Ross, there's Ross in there looking to load. Can he get in? No, he can't get in for a quick attack. And now he's going to have to defend himself as the melee begins. Electro Bullet. Oh, what a fine name, sir. As the 77Y are trying to defend themselves. Down goes Ross. And you can see here the remaining members of Fort Derp. Rifle butt action, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of butt action coming in now. Oh, look at that. Fine butt goings on. As you can see, there we go. And a fine stab. A fine stab from Rogan. And now... this guy's about to have a bad day. Oh, look at that. Shoot Sergeant Rogan. Oh, and now gets out what is essentially the shortest sword ever in the history of the universe. He's now fighting with a toothpick. And that's what happens when you do. So there we go. We move on to the next round, boys and girls. We shall return shortly. And we return with round 2. At the Russian Sport. Oh, God. The 172nd moving out. Looking like partisans and peasants, but what the hell. Fine carrying a flag going on there. Here. the 60th Soteria, KP, and there is Colonel Captini moving out. And let's see, what are they going to do? So, the artillery set up near the spawn. Recruit Hunter's managed to shoot himself in the head. And let's see if we can figure out what's going on with the Russians as they are moving, I would say, down the left side and the middle parts of the map. So the question is whether or not the Russians can actually push the advantage, and whether or not the Brits can actually do something. All charge at 45 minutes this time. And then a map change. There we go. Now look at this. Skirmishers moving up in a fine spread line. I'm hearing drumming. Conspicuous drumming on the British side. See who the fine drummer is. Oberleutnant Deifer. Fine cadence drumming there. As Last Spartan truly is the last Spartan, as he managed to catch a bullet with his head. And the cannonballs fly over the top of the British. And you can see them repelling borders against the Russians, who are pushing up very, very aggressively. And this could be a problem for the Brits, because now the Brits are penned in. Now granted, they do have abilities to move to the right and to the left, but this aggressive push may backfire on the Russians. But the problem is for the Brits is that the Russians have the support of artillery. Here is the PY. Look at these guys, don't they look wonderful? Look at that, fine moustache. Checking his spyglass, looking for the enemy. Trying to form a battle plan as artillery flies over the top of his recruits' heads. And these guys walk right... Oh dear, look at that. Oh dear, Captain Pescurio. Oh dear, what's wrong with these guys? It's literally just like, this is where the guys are. Let's announce it. Oh dear, silly boys indeed. So they're now off. And you can see here, mass surrender occurring from the 1 RYK. They're already surrendering. Or they're doing their calisthenics. I haven't figured out which one yet. As there's Parvi. And you can see the skirmishers continuing to push pretty hard. Now, have the Brits managed to get anybody out on the far right? They haven't, as the Finnish rifles have just lost Sir Arthur. But what is going on? Yes, the Brits have made it out on the far left-hand side. And this could be an advantage for them. They might be going for the artillery section of the 77Y, but they've got to be careful with their lineup, because all it's going to take is one of the eagle-eyed cannoneers from the 77th, or 77Y, the second guards. There's Unai. Oh, they nearly got out of formation there. To decimate their numbers with a cannon. Oh dear, poor Private Boyce is no more, as you can see. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Bit of horse assassination occurring there. Uh-oh, the Russians have seen this push on the right flank, and now Dawn and the PY are moving up to push the advantage. Now the Brits are already assembled Are they going to have to move? Yes, they are moving already, but the line is a little bit ragged. Are they going to get fired on by the Russians? The Russians trying to move, and there we go. They've decided to move back, and they've changed the direction of the line to stay on the flank. Fantastic line direction change there. Absolutely phenomenal. They're trying to move to cut off the Brits from their enemy, or from their support. And there we go. Looks like they've just changed the line again. Wow. That is fantastic. I've never seen that before. And fine drilling by the PY. Look at that. Oh, look. No. This could be go on forever with the second guards immediately changing direction. And the fire going in. McFlurry gets finished off. Rebel Walrus also killed. Fredo and Hipster Rich. And now they're going to try and turn and see if they can they get the line in place. It's going to be tricky. The fire goes out. Loads of Russians get taken down. And now the melee fun and games begins. Look at this. Fantastic stuff going on. And if for whatever reason this side here gets taken down, then it means that the sides will be weak for the Brits. But reinforcements follow, with the 2nd KGL moving up to support their teammates, as RG Poo has managed to kill Hexler. And here we go. The 2nd, over on the left there, the guards taking some damage from the PY. Let's see. Curly O'Connor looks to be getting involved in there. And the Brits definitely have the advantage, as there is Mon taken out. And they've managed to secure their left flank. That's a good news for the Brits. Now, let's see. Because we want to move around. Here we go. So here are the Baker Riflemen and the Lights from the British Army moving up against the Russians. Now, this fine fellow, Pavy, hiding behind a rock, sensible man. And it looks like you do have the Russian Lights engaging against these guys to try and do some damage. The 2 RYK looking fine. Colonel Captini with the artillery of the 77Y in the background. What is going on here? There's the 60th. This is why you don't leave them unsupervised for too long. Oh, Curly O'Connor shot down by Jumper. Fine shot indeed. May have been a little bit of officer aiming occurring there. But either way, Curly O'Connor is no more. And now we can hear the bullets careering past the camera as the Brits now need to reorganise. The officer aim was real. So, the 60th waiting. And there we go. They're now moving out as the flag bearer really needs to pay attention. Or maybe... Nope, he is moving. Yeah, I think he was reloading before he decided to move with the flag. So, it looks like the British left flank is going to get pressured again from the 60th. However, these guys will be waiting for them. The 2nd, the KGL, and you can continue to see the Baker Riflemen being supported by another line regiment moving out to the right flank. But the centre is being pushed by the Russians. The left is being pushed by the 60th Russians. This could be a problem for the British. 41-41. Equal numbers. And then we've got 5 minutes until everyone charges in. So, over on the right hand side you can see a stand-up battle occurring. As these guys continuing to fire back. There's Staff Adjutant King of the North looking fine. And there's Nicky. Oh dear. There's his birthday gift, just shot in the chest. And look, taken out again. Oh dear. This time by assassin rep, we managed to capture a cannonball the last round. So it's not bad in that case. And you can see now, it looks like, yep, the Brits are starting to push back. The 60th having to pull back now as they're coming under pressure from this lovely line of gentlemen here from the 2nd Guards, Private Radius. Looking slightly round around the edges. Now, what's going on here, we ask ourselves. As the doorstop heads from the 60th, look at these fine fellows. Not sure about the hats, bit suspect. As poor old Assy manages to catch a cannonball from Lautano. And Captini managing to kill his cohort. That's officer on officer action, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes, only the best hot officer action going on in these videos. There's cold steel. And you can see the regiment of East Essex trying to get some shots on the Russians. And you can see it looks like they managed to kill one of the lieutenants. Or lieutenants, I should say. And now they're starting to pull back a little bit behind the cover. You've got a few random horses. Major not moving is certainly now not moving. As he's just been shot off his horse. So you can see the late Mr. not moving. Rip indeed. Rip. And so we shall move on. Now, if possible, he might be going out to teabag his corpse. Or he might be going out to get his sword. Aha. No, he's gone out to get his spyglass. Interesting. Could have been ambushed out there in the field. But, look at this smart play here by flag holder, Pavy, keeping the flag low not to ID their location to the British forces as 37 versus 36. So, in 2 minutes or so, we will be having a full charge and a mass melee battle. As now you can see there, 60th, poor old Liebslow getting finished off. Killed by a vegetarian. And they said vegetarianism was good for you. Apparently not under the circumstances. But now you can see a gathering and a regrouping of the forces of the British Army. As now you can see up here on the right hill, Purple Apple with a fine shot onto Fredrickson. Definite officer aim there without a doubt. And of course, artillery Fort Derp has been created. It's not floating, but it's just a way to protect themselves. Now, who is that engineer of choice? Who is the maker of Fort Derp? It's the turtle, of course, it had to be. And now you can see the battle continuing. Oh, look at that. Let's see if we can get in on that. Yeah, there we go. Rifles come out with devastating fire into the British Army. And they now have to pull back. The riflemen trying to cover the line. The line starting to try and move in if they can. Let's see. There's Electric Bullet. And now you can see here Assassin Rep moving up. The Russians have lost a few of their number and have had to pull back. And ladies and gentlemen, it's 45 seconds, now 30 seconds to charge. Hiding behind a rock is the two, RYK. Carmaden. These fine fellows, don't they look wonderful? And they're getting ready for the charge, ladies and gentlemen. So Lautano manages to get shot in the head. Let's see what's going on at Fort Derp. Can we find out the drama of Fort Derp? There's a long distance shot. There we go. So, they're now having to break down Fort Derp. Snecker and his team. Look at this. Starting to make their way out. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And that's worthy. Killing the magic man with a cannon. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Oh, dear me. Never mind. Oh no, Captain Thomas has just been killed. And now the melee in the centre of the battlefield begins. Oh, look at that. The Bane gets taken down. Look at that, a horse on a flag. That's quite impressive. And now you can see here the melee to end the round is continuing. Cold Steel taken down. Press play, Vegetarian. Charlie the Turtle getting murdered by High Lord. Oh dear, team killing action going on there. The High Lord finally killed by Lanko. Recruit Warlord also being finished off from the regiment of East Essex. And you can see here Snecker Mace murdered horribly by Le Staples. Oh goodness me. Electro Bullet murdered as well. Bayoneted to death. And down goes the White Knight trying to defend himself. Who's the last man standing? Oh, it's Midgarder. Is that the last man? No, there's 2 Russians remaining. And Midgarder is trying to defend himself. He goes in with a turning stab. And Midgarder is removed. So, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Woofy finally goes down, and we move on to a map change and the next round. And we return with what is the final round. Drumming over Lieutenant Dyfer. Looking fine, looking wonderful. So, this is the map change, and this will be the final round for this evening. Well, precisely. And you can see now the forces moving out over this lush and verdant ground, complete with a river. So, no doubt somebody will take a piss in the river, because somebody always does, ruining a nice fresh water source. A little bit of ammonia and a lot of yellow colouring. Anyway, let's see if we can find out where the Russians are. Aha! Hello, Russians. Let's see. Now, look at this. Here are the Russians. Setting up the cannons of the 77Y. And the building of Fort Dirt begins with Mr. Turtle, of course. Fine traditions of derpage on the 77Y artillery. Oh dear. Like Colonel Captini has just been horribly murdered. Whoops-a-daisy. And Ranger Ghost also finished off by a kill. As here is the last Spartan with his rifle. Engaging the enemy with lots of smoke. So, this fine brook, this flowing river. Let's get up high. Let's burn out your retinas as we try and get an idea of what's going on. Now, the Russians obviously spawned on that hill, so they've got to get across that river very quickly. And the Holy Emperor has been killed from the 2nd QR. And you can see these guys getting into a fight. Oh. Ouch. Very nice indeed. The 2nd Guard's getting taken down horribly. With a fine cannon. The Guards literally just got completely erased. See if we can find out where those poor fellows are. Where are those 2nd Guards? It could be that there's none of them left. So, here is obviously the artillery. And we move across here as it looks like the Brits have made it across the river. As Recruit Warlord from The regiment of East Essex gets finished off by Skywalker. He has used the Force, and he is no more. Now these guys. Here is, of course, the 172nd with Chadtopia. It looks like, there we go, there's the recent ending of these guys. As, oh dear, the lights of the KP moving in, going up against Baker Riflemen, who aren't really designed for this kind of melee. And a little bit of firing coming in there from the second guards, who want revenge against the Russians for the murder of their teammates, who are now basically standing on all those corpses. Oh God. As you can see now, they're returning to catch, or returning to get the bodies of their dead, but it looks like the second guards have been pushed back. As there is Nassy. And let's see. Where did that cannonball come from? It must have come from that sort of general direction. It must have bounced there and bounced down there. So, a good shot. A fine shot from Sneckermace. So, let's see if we can get an idea of what's going on. As the last Spartan proves the point again. Poor last Spartan. A Dyther. No, they've killed the drummer. Oh, the swines. As Lanko from the regiment of East Essex gets taken down. For the love of God of tits and wine. Oh, dear. Never mind. As now you can see the 172nd and the 2nd KGL getting into a nice fight. As the 77Y, there is the Dowell 14. Oh, look at that White Knight with a beautiful canister shot into the 2nd QR and the 2nd KGL. That's done a number on their forces, as you can see here. Look at these guys. Oh, again! Lortano. Oh, brutality occurring there, ladies and gentlemen. Making the most of that period of time that they can do it, and also putting these things in place to make it difficult for them to actually get into. So, not exactly Fort Dirt, but certainly a strategy that works. As Curly O'Connor takes down... Please nerf the 77Y cannons. Yes, I quite agree. There's Sneckermace moving in. There's Mortimer. And Udo, RSM from the 60th. And there's Phaser, 2nd Lieutenant from the 60th. Now moving into the... Oh dear. There's Matt, being silly in chat as usual. Oh, bit of stabbing going on. So, 14 members of the United Kingdom. Let's see if we can find them. Oh, who was that? Oh, poor Isleon. And another one, and another one. Oh God, who's engaging these poor fellows? Oh, these sneaky buggers. I bet they... Yes, it is. It's the 2nd QR. Hiding in the bushes. Ninja-like. And evil. And the Russians. No visibility on them. As Dussel kills Atom Smasher. As now the 77Y's artillery section is under attack. And a fine stab and a little bit of team killing going in there as well. As the Russians now return and push back the Brits. Well, the Brit. Poor old Fredo from the 2nd Guards. Oh, fine stab, sir. Quick and a stab. Who's he fighting? RSM Udo, Regimental Sergeant Major of the 60th. This is fantastic, fantastic fight going on between these two guys. And random horsey. Drive-by horseying, ladies and gentlemen. Drive-by horse. These two guys continuing their fight. Mano a mano. Oh, that's just not fair. Staff Major not moving from the second. Oh dear. And not moving finishes poor old Udo off. As up on the hill. Now he's helping. Now he's dead. Oh dear me. Never mind. As the PY do a fantastic job with a nice volley into the enemy. Albeit two of them. So, 2 members of the United Kingdom Army are dead. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That has been the end of the event for tonight. Thank you very much. It's been great fun as always to cover the Napoleonic War community in their battles, and my thanks to the 2nd Regiment for inviting me. And we'll see you again next time. Take care.